Hey guys, it's Jez. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. So I've got two things that I'm going to mention in this video. They're to do with health and how I overcome both. So the first one's going to be mental health. And the second one is going to be physical limitations and how I overcome them. I feel like right now in the collective that we actually need this, okay? And we need this a lot, okay? So I'm going to mention it. You may have previously heard a brief avenue of what was. I'm going to explain it in a little bit more detail so that you understand. I will try to go slow, but sometimes my brain and my mouth, so my mouth speaks too fast for my brain, okay? Sometimes that happens, so a heads up on that. So, first one. I was in hospital for over 6 months with purple psychosis just after my child. I had a hormonal imbalance, okay, that affected the chemicals in my brain and made it go a bit whoopsie-doo, right? So, I actually was in a hospital. I knew I had a child, okay? That's one thing I did know, and they said it was rare that I knew I had a child considering reality, and it was like reality and fantasy like mixed as one, okay? That's the only way I can explain it. So that was interesting. And then I was sectioned. I was put in hospital for 6 months, okay? Hardly going out of the hospital, and if it was very short journeys, or it was to my home and I wouldn't go out of the home, okay? Then I went to the mother and baby unit so that I could reconnect with my baby, because obviously I couldn't see him that often where I was in the hospital. Now, when I mentioned to someone, they actually listened to what I was saying, which was very interesting because most of them wasn't. Okay, so this one person listened to what I was saying, and my attitude was, I'm only smoking because you won't let me go outside and I want some fresh air. I really wanted some fresh air, right? And if you're locked up in a hospital without having some fresh air, it drives you around the bend, believe me. So I wanted to go outside. So I started smoking so I could go outside in the smoking area. So I mentioned it to like the head nurse or a sister, whatever you would prefer to call her. I know there's different words that you can use. She actually listened to me, and I said, why is it all the good ones get left behind? If they don't smoke, they're not allowed to go and do their like their own thing, okay? So she listened to me, so we got some fresh air, and there was 3 of us that didn't smoke at the time, right? I decided to take up smoking again, right? That was my own choice. So 3 and then went that way, okay? So we actually got to go out and have coffee and have some fresh air, which I thought was good, okay? Then I went to a mother and baby unit because obviously I had to reconnect with my child. Obviously, having limited time spent with your child in a family room isn't the best, but at least I got to see my child. And then when it came to that, after coming out, it was like I was still in that frame of mind of being in hospital, okay? So I didn't want to go out my door. This led to a severe anxiety because it was like an invisible brick wall. This is the only way I can explain it. An invisible brick wall that wouldn't let you outside the house, okay? Because you were so used to being inside 4 walls that you didn't want to go out. Majority of the time, okay? So there were 4 people that helped me along the journey, okay? Some were teams, okay? and then one extra person that I decided that I needed at the time. So we had my support worker, my adult social worker, my OT, and my early intervention team. Okay, I'm doing this a bit backwards so I remember which order I want to do it in. So early intervention team, up until the child was 1, there was a doctor and there was someone who would help me play with my child and interact with my child. Obviously, because I hadn't been there from day dot, it was hard to connect for me. I didn't notice this. It was harder to connect with playing and stuff like that with my child when he was young. And then after that, I had the adult social worker, the OT, and support worker within my reality. Okay. The support worker, so the OT would get me the equipment that I needed, or to send me certain places to try and get a community, or to try to get some friends, because obviously I'd been in hospital for so long. So I went to baby yoga, which was at the Sure Start Centre. I met a receptionist, which is really cool because after the Sure Start Centre closed down, she's actually a receptionist at my son's school, which is so cool. So I know who she is, and like so many people who were back with me then realised how much I have grown. It took me a little longer to realise, but that's okay. So my support worker really helped me get out of my comfort zone. I decided to warn myself that I needed some more help. So the Sure Start Centre, when it was open, I actually decided that it was a good idea for me to get some help from a switch worker, which is similar to support worker, to get me out of the house and out and about. So because of these two people, they really helped me grow. Now, it took me 5 years to get over that. So change, yeah, 5. Okay. And I have been psychosis free for 6 years. I still have to go up for checkups every year just to make sure that I'm okay. Okay. Continuously. Okay. Honestly, it's driving me nuts because I know I'm okay. So, but I understand that they don't want me to, because I was so severe, they don't want to let me go too soon. And I understand this from their point of view. Then years later, I was in my local town centre where I was living at the time, and I bumped into my old social worker, and she said, "Do you realise that you are a success story in the office?" And I was like, "No, what?" She said, "Because you were so determined to get out of this situation, and you were so willing to get out of this situation, you're still a success story." And at the time, I still had a bit of anxiety, and presentations to me was like, "Wait, what? No." So yeah, so that's fun. Wait, what? No. I said, "Is there an alternative way to do it?" She said, "Yes." I obviously had support of friends and family as well. And I actually wrote a letter because at this particular time, the mental health company that was closing down needed funding. So I thought, well, I can help with this because like they helped me. I got a bit of space then because they helped me. So I helped with that. Then I found out they went to the local mayor and that their company stayed open, and that all the people within the company still then had their jobs. Then years later, um, I don't know, I was thinking a few days before, which is very interesting because I hadn't thought of this person for a while either. A few days before, I thought to myself, I wonder if she got them presents that I passed on to her through like the receptionist. That's all I thought, right? Because obviously I knew I couldn't give it to her directly. And later on, she went, "Oh my God, you look so good." I said, "Did you get them presents that I gave to you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, that's good. I just wanted to double make sure." She went, "Oh my God, you look so well." Because before I was very pale, I was like a zombie robot. And for those who knew me back then, I was in such a not good state. So for over 6 years, I have been psychosis free. I have to go for regular blood tests just to make sure my hormones are in balance. um, when required, because now it's when required, but I did. Okay. I also had to go. I have to go. I have to go every year. To make sure that my mental health is okay as well. And I understand why they do this, but sometimes it's really frustrating. Because I just want to be let go totally. So, from that scenario, but I know in time that will happen, so I'm quite like innate with that. Okay. The second one I want to mention is physical limitations. Okay. So this is fairly recent, but it's not like totally oh my God recent. Does that make sense? So I was for 2 years, I was walking around with a dislocated knee around COVID time without me knowing that wouldn't go back. Okay. I just thought it, because it felt similar to when fluid on your knee comes up and then goes back down, right? So that's what it felt like to me at the time. Then I ended up being on a walking stick. That wasn't the easiest. People stare at you for like no reason, and it drove me nuts to start off with, right? And then I thought to myself, well, you know what? I have, I didn't actually stare at them, by the way. Okay, I just noticed out the corner of my eye. So yeah. And then I realised that, do you know what? I'm going to make sure that there's something to stare about. I have unique leggings. I have unique hair. This is my confidence because I need a little help with it. And this, although it looks green, it's not actually green. It's a turquoisey blue colour. Because my phone camera is not the best. So yeah, because I needed to speak up and I need a little bit more confidence. So to me, them chakras are going to help me in this current phase. Okay, so I started a YouTube channel. Some of you may have heard of it, and I then deleted it because fear kicked in. Okay, because one, I didn't want to be in the limelight. Yeah, limelight. Okay, this is what I realized at the time. Okay, and two, there was another reason. Oh, anxiety kicks in as well, right? So I thought, oh, I can't do this, right? So I deleted the channel. What I didn't realize was I had to let go of that channel to realize that I did actually like what I was doing. Okay, and I had to bring in the new. So I don't believe in coincidences because of this. So then I've got this new channel, which is obviously Smiley Mountain Lake, that I do tarot readings, and there are a few surprises along the way, like I said. So I had a consultant for money that used gel plates. Yeah, gel plates. It was just an injection, okay? with my knee. For the first month, I was walking like an ordinary person. Yeah, I was so happy. It was so awesome. I was like, oh my god, over the moon. Yeah. And limitations kicked in, which I didn't realize at the time. I realized later on, which sometimes happens. Okay. And then I was back on a walking stick again through these limitations. Okay. How do I walk like an ordinary person? And how do I achieve this? So what I'd been sitting in is fear, anxiety, negative like thoughts. So it was actually my fear that brought up my anxiety, which I actually realize now, which is interesting. So what happened was my physical was affecting my mental. Okay, because physically limited equals mentally limited. I was watching several YouTube tarot readers because obviously I wanted to get more insight. Three main ones I watch, okay? Personal choice, free will and all. I really enjoy the way that they read. They're very insightful. They help me along my journey. So as far as I'm concerned, without them even realizing, they help me along them like my journey. And two manifestation people, okay, or law of attraction, very into a law of attraction, okay. So because obviously I had that limitation on my mindset, because the first time it didn't heal properly, I had that limitation on this isn't going to work because it didn't heal the first time. This isn't going to work because it was like a round and round loop, right? So this was my limitation. So as from today, which is the 23rd of the 1st, 2024, this took about 3 months. So from my lower vibration, I actually raised to a higher vibration. That's why I took the 2 days off, okay? So to a higher vibration, okay? So I like to say that I am healthy inside and out. All in all, this took me 3 months, okay? This is why I like the number 3. I seem to like the number 3, and I didn't always know why until now. So, yeah, 3, okay? And then, obviously, my limitations and beliefs with that. So now I know when I need to rest. Now I know when I need to move my body and like get certain things out. I now realize that I was limiting myself with this aspect, okay? So I am now walking like an ordinary person. I'm extremely happy because now I can do the things that I would like to do. And it's not all going to be at once. And I know this. I'm going to space it out. But all the things that look fun to me, I can actually try now, okay? Which is good, okay, to me. So I started using I Am Healthy Inside and Out, okay, for 3 months. I also used a meditation for healing as well. So I did 2 things. I also started doing my surprise tarot readings, okay, doing it in my own unique form. I'm really excited about that, which is coming up soon, but I'll let you know on that particular day when it comes up, okay, because I feel like that's my surprise to you, okay, to see how far I've actually come and to see where it will progress to. So with some things you may need like certain avenues, okay. So I was listening to, and I don't know if you've ever seen the film Descendants. Absolutely love it. I was listening to an interview, okay, and they were saying that they were dancing and they were singing and they had to take care of their bodies. And they were saying Epsom salt bath, okay, they were saying that they had to relax their muscles, which sometimes hurt. So do you see what I mean? Like all these things, taking care of you is number one as well, okay? Because you are the most important person first. You come first, then everyone else comes next, okay? I feel like this knowledge is well needed right now in the collective. I feel like so many people have limitations on health, okay? And I'll explain a little story. And I remember watching this, and I watched this ages ago. So if any of you remember what this film is and whether it's a bit different from what I believe, can you comment below? That'd be great. So there was a skier that had been told by the doctors that she would be paralyzed from the waist down. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a skier. I know who it was. Right. Changed my thing. It's not a skier. It was a gymnast, right? From the waist down for the rest of her life. And she was like, no, I won't. I want to do gymnastics. I love gymnastics. Okay. And she actually went through intense physio to get her limbs working again. I remember the doctors saying it was a miracle because they couldn't explain how she got better. I remember, but she was determined and she was willing to go through a bit of pain to get where she needed to. It was probably a lot more pain than I believe, but you know. And then she is still doing gymnastics now. But I remember the doctors like not believing it. If doctors can't explain something, it's usually a miracle, okay? And she was determined, and it took her a couple of years for her to do it. She is now doing gymnastics again, or she was. I don't know if she still is, or she's retired, but she's doing it. But she was determined. She was like, "No, I'm not. I'll show you." like, so yeah, it was very, very good, like incentive of no matter what you go through, as long as you're determined and like you're like strong mentally in your mind, you can achieve anything physically. And I remember this film, and I can't remember what it's called, and she basically blamed everyone else to start off with, and then realized that you need to look within yourself first. So it was like the ups and downs and the turmoil of what was happening, because obviously she wanted to do the thing that she loved, which was gymnastics. I've also seen a skier as well that doesn't believe in limitations with health either. I can't remember what the film is called either, so comment below if you know that too, please. It'd be great. So yeah, all these things would be like excellent to know, okay? I feel like sometimes we believe in the limitations more than we believe in the miracles, okay? It's time for you to believe in the miracles. And I think I will leave it there. Bye-bye for now.